Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Now, there are so many of these internet marketing personalities that you have. You have Dan Pina, who is supposed to be the $50 billion man. Although, when you search, the only people who talk about him is him himself. And then you have Thai Lopez, the man who speaks about his, Lamborghini in his garage. Over the period of time, I've seen these ads where these guys tell you that they're living the life of their dreams. They are so big, they are so famous, but they want to help you become rich and successful if you give them your email address and you subscribe to their online course. From anything from $7 a month to $9 to $67 or whatever. So from all these internet personalities, I bumped into a couple of them because obviously I'm moving towards that direction of being an internet marketer. And you tend to bump into all these coaches and experts and people who will change your life for a fee. Now, among the many personalities, I happen to see this guy. Okay, I'll be putting in his screenshots as I speak. And this guy's moniker was Boss in the Bentley. And I was like, ooh, Boss in a Bentley, that also Bentley. And, he looks like this Chinese kind of Hong Kongish guy. And he gives you all these wisdom, these guru nuggets of life, one of the favorite ones that I happen to see is reading books is all shit, it's all bullshit. I was like, that's good. Okay. So when you check his YouTube channel, you'll find the man, the myth, the legend, the best-selling author. And then when you go to his Amazon best-selling author category, you'll find he has sold 87 books, 87, and he is a best-selling author. So obviously, being curious, I decided Google search his name, Dan Lok. And once you Google search his name, you'll find out that he positions himself as a serial entrepreneur. Now, I do not know what is a serial entrepreneur, but I do know that is after searching that he is an internet marketer. And lo and behold, I didn't know this, but he's also an affiliate marketer. What do I mean by affiliate marketing? Is he tends to collect emails. Let's say he'll collect 1 million emails. And from those 1 million emails, when he sends a broadcast and tells you, I have found one ebook that can change your life. Download the book now. It's $900 worth. You can download it for $9. And people will be like, wow, this is a book that can change my life. And after they download, he gets a 50% commission or 60% or whatever the agreement is. So when you have a major database and you can market and sell to them, that is how you make money. Now, Dan Lok has also spoken on TEDx. That is, these are these local TED conferences. He has spoken about being the unstoppable force, the difference between success and failure, and the invisible force, the self-image, towards which he, achieved his goals. Now, I normally tend to do this. If there is an internet guru, I first check if they have complaints or questions about them being legit. That led me to Quora. In Quora, the first question is Dan Lok a scam? And in that, the person who has written about him apparently worked for Dan Lok. And, I like the statement in the end that says, if it quacks like a duck, it looks like a duck, it sounds like a duck, and acts like a duck, it must be a duck. Then in Reddit, there is also a forum, is Dan Lok legit? So, after checking all this, there's that big question, what exactly is Dan Lok? Who exactly is Dan Lok? Now, if you check his website, it says that he has been featured on ABC, NBC, Fox News, MSNBC, CBS. I checked, but there is no such news video clip. All right. So what I decided is fine. Okay, let me see. Maybe this guy can give me a few nuggets of wisdom. Maybe there is some wisdom in his book. Maybe there is something worthwhile. So that is where I bought Dan Loks, Dan the Man Lok, F-U money. F-U money, full form means fuck you money. Okay. So in this book, I went through this book. It took me an hour to read this book. There are predominantly 4 main parts. The four main parts is, number one is the FU lifestyle, then the FU myths, the FU mindset, and finally the, what is that? The FU money business. FU money. Everything is FU. So in the first chapter after the introduction, he says he doesn't want to be a guru. He doesn't want to sugarcoat. And in the book, wait, let me show you so you can have a look. Where is the screen? In the book, you can check. There are these Lokisms which are there. He gives you Lokism pieces of advice, and this he says sugarcoating is meant for cereal. So he kind of gets to the point. The FU money lifestyle. In the first chapter, part one, FU is money is the point of true liberation. It's like the amount of money that you can spend without worrying. So that's chapter one. And after every chapter, he tends to have this assignments. In the assignments, he tends to have this. Let me show you. In the assignment, he has, what does FU money mean to you? You're supposed to write it down. The second one is, what does the life look like if you have FU money? Okay, and third one is, how does it feel when you have FU money? So you're supposed to write down these points. These are his assignments. That's part one. Then the second one is, how do you look like a Hollywood star? How to live like a Hollywood movie star, even if you're not famous. And I think that is why he dresses up like a Hollywood star. So in every chapter, he tends to have a few words of, generic wisdom. And then he gives you an assignment where you're supposed to write down, like, what are the material things that interest you. In fact, he has even given, he has shared his FU list. His FU list consists of how much money he spends on his condo, how much money in his car, how much money for his lifestyle. And, like if he wants to be rich and successful, in and around $639,000, 872 per year. So, so he gives all these pieces of advice, how you make money. Then he moves to the money myths. The money myths that I've written down is, number one is money cannot buy you happiness. Second myth is rich people are assholes. And, you're supposed to write down your belief systems here. Myth number three is you can afford to wait. So apparently you should not wait. Myth number four is, only the people who are lucky tend to be rich. Myth number five is you have to be a cheapskate. Over here, he speaks about the example that he tips really well if someone gives him good service. And he gave the example of Frank Sinatra, who gave $100 tips. One of the interesting examples he gave is whenever he travels airport to airport or to any country, he does not take a cab. He takes a limousine because he wants people to say that, wow, who's this guy? So he tries to play rich by acting rich, by being rich. Okay. So, Dan Lok actually kind of gives you these indirect hints as to how does he play rich. But then the part that actually confused me is, what does he do? What does he really do? I mean, it's not mentioned anywhere. What does he do? Is he rich by real estate? Is he rich by business? Is he rich by buying and selling? So then, after going through all these myths, he also mentions he loves his credit cards, as you can see here. Then finally comes to part three. Okay, the part three is the money mindset. Money mindset, he says, the FU money lifestyle is not for the touchy-feely. If your life stinks, it's your own fault. He speaks against the book, The Secret, which I totally agree with him that, if you just visualize and you sit there waiting, money is not going to come to you. Then he also has the power of DIG, that is daily income goals, which I thought was a good chapter, chapter 17. Chapter 17, he speaks about how you must have a daily income goal, and that would help you achieve your monthly goal, and that would help you achieve your yearly goal. Then chapter 18 is something in terms of a Nazi soup or something like that. Chapter 19 is a system that can help you change your life. And what is the system? You should know what is your rate per hour, which I totally agree with him. Chapter 19, chapter 20 is one habit that boosts his daily productivity is don't do the small work, allocate it to others. Then finally, it comes down to the FU money business. And that is where I think in this chapter he finally kind of gave a hint of what does he do. First one is, you know, he spoke about having a vision or having a big business, an ideal business. And that is where in chapter 23, he finally spoke about having an internet business. Because as per him, the 9 characteristics of an ideal business is: do what you love, have a stable long-term demand, be portable, high profit margins, have scalability, low startup cost, requires little or no staff, low overheads, and make money when you sleep. So that's the only way you can do that, is having an internet business. And then in chapter 24, he speaks about the people whom he helped become rich. I went through some of their profiles. They seem to be, substantially well made websites that sell products and services. And finally, chapter 25 is where he admitted how he went from rags to riches. Apparently, his mentor's name was Alan Jacques, who was a craft master sales letter, killer sales letter creator. He made his living as a copywriter. His first physical book was Forbidden Psychological Tactics. His first ebook was The Insider Secrets of Marketing a Business on the Internet. And that is how he started to make money selling ebooks. I wish, Dan Lok had explicitly mentioned that he's an internet marketer, he's an affiliate marketer. I think that would have really helped. Finally, he ends with chapter 26, the golden keys to internet riches. The market comes first. Create simple, easy website that is easy to navigate and sell. Build a business, not a money maker. Create multiple streams of income. Leverage on time and resources of others. Use your personality to create and sell. Like Tony Robbins, he gave his story. Robert Kiyosaki gave his story. So he tried to create his own personality. And finally, position yourself for truth. Now, having given you the total summary of his book, what do I think? I think this is a book that I read when I was just watching the internet and putting my baby to sleep. The book is a poorly written piece of literature. It's not something you can look and say, wow. He tends to have these Lokisms, nuggets of wisdom of his, like money is the root of all good. I refuse to be poor when I'm broke. Make huge sums of money requires a set of skills, basic generic advice. Nowhere in the book does he mention that he's an internet marketer who likes to sell himself. Okay. But obviously, I guess at some point you realize that. I liked his website. I thought his website was really nice, amazing photographs, nice Bentley, picture, nice jet set lifestyle. I think he kind of appeals to the people who like this shiny object syndrome. The part that really surprised me is Dan Lok charges $166 a minute. Okay, $166 where you can book his advice. In fact, one of my followers on Facebook booked a session with him for 15 minutes, whereby he had to shell out 2,500 US dollars, $166 a minute, to take his advice. And the question that he asked Dan Lok was, how can I 10x my revenues? Now, I have no idea what advice Dan Lok gave him, but I can tell you this much. In 15 minutes, there is nothing you can do to change a person's life. The advice would be generic. It would be the typical, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Find out ways and means that you can take bold risks. Subcontract your stuff that you have. Sell fast. Yeah, the typical stuff like that. Now, the reason why I found this pretty irritating, what the guy done, is because he had 5 maxed out credit cards. He borrowed from a credit card to pay this guy in order to find out how to be rich. And then once he got his advice, he tried to preach to me and try to sell to me and says, why don't you become my affiliate? I'll give you 60%, 80%. You can also make a lot of money. And I was not interested. So, Dan Lok appeals to those people who want to be rich fast, who are attracted to this shiny object syndrome, the private jet, the Bentleys, the limousines, the beautiful babes. And, so Thai Lopez, Grant Cardone, Dan Pina, they appeal to the select people of a generation who want to be rich fast. Now, it's funny because these are internet marketers who became rich telling others how to be rich. So it's like, you want to be rich, pay me money, I'll tell you how to be rich. And it's very simple. Get someone to pay you money, and that's how you become rich. I mean, that's as far as I can say where these internet marketers are concerned. Now, personally, I wish that these internet marketers would tell you that you create a digital product. That's what it's called, a video or a course or an ebook. Have people's email address, send an email to them, let them download, and once they download, you make money. So it's a product which you don't stock and you can sell. You're selling knowledge, rehashed knowledge that is available on the internet. Now, if they had said it that way, that would have been much better, but they don't want to say it that way. Rather, they want to tell you, I'm going to help you make 7-figure income, 8-figure income. I'm the guy who is going to give you this amazing advice, guru kind of advice, change your life. So personally, I found it pretty vanilla. I wouldn't recommend this book to anyone. I would give this book a FU, maybe one, not even one, half out of 10. It doesn't help in any way. So personally, I just looked at this book, waste of time. There is nothing that would help me, at least as a professional, change my life. But in terms of internet marketing, I've learned that, you position yourself larger than life, give a lot of bullshit, appear to be a god with great photographs, have a ClickFunnels account, you know, charge people for your time, effort, and money, and that's how you become rich. So these are my views in terms of FU money and Dan Lok, the boss in the Bentley, the man, the myth, the legend. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. I find his videos, some of them are good. The rest are pretty boring. I didn't like his book at all. TED Talk was okay, fun, not bad. So that's what I would say. Is he worth $166 a minute? Absolutely not. And I doubt, he would share his trade secrets, because end of the day, who wants to have more competition? So these are my views. Let me know what you think. Loy from LoyMachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? Sharing with you his thoughts on Dan Lok's FU money, FU and FU. And this is me saying goodbye for now. Take care. Bye-bye. Dan Lok. Dan Lok.